Well, welcome back everyone to Measures Adventures. Today I wanted to make another venture video, but it's minus 20 degrees Celsius outside. So it's pretty cold when you're trying to run camera equipment and everything else. So I thought, I'm gonna make a video, whatever. I got one headlight out on my FourTrax 300 4x4. So I thought, well, maybe I'll make a video because I watch a lot of YouTube videos that I searched whatever to change headlight bulbs, and it's always everybody, putting LEDs and everything into the quad. So I thought, no, I'm going to make a video today, whatever is to, put a factory light bulb, normal light bulb in your Honda ATV. So maybe not much of a venture video, but it is a video. So I had my son-in-law, Dwight, go to the Edson Honda dealership because Whitecourt doesn't have a Honda dealership. It's a darn shame. They would do good if they had a dealership here in Whitecourt. But anyways, I had him go and pick me up the stuff I need, and he did give me the two light bulbs, but it turned out one light bulb was actually broke when they shipped it to me. So I'll get him to take it back and get me a new headlight, but I did want to change both of them because by rights you should actually change both headlights. You shouldn't just change one. But in this predicament, I'm gonna have to change the one, and then I'll do the other one when I get the new bulb. So anyway, this is the package that comes in, and it's just a 25 watt normal bulb for your FourTrax 300. But see, it's just a normal bulb. So we're going to, I'm gonna be gentle with that because I'm scared of breaking that bulb. Wouldn't that be something? So we're going to get started or whatever and fix my headlight. So as you can see here, that this is the headlight that's out. It's actually been out a long time on my quad, but I don't really ride much at night. It is nice though when I'm plowing snow and it gets dark out. I still want the headlights functioning properly. So we're going to change this bulb here and put the new one in. I've already took this bulb already out, just so I know I had the right bulb. So we're gonna get started and change my light. Now to get to the light bulb, there's not really much space here between the tire and to get back in there. You can actually get back in there. I just find it easier. If we pull the tire off, I got more space where I can work with. All right, on your Honda FourTrax 300, your wheel nuts are 17 millimeter. So what I'm going to do, we're going to loosen them off. Just because the tire's on the ground. Just makes it a little bit easier. Okay, now we're going to just jack up our quad. Just enough to get that tire off to the ground. Actually, you can bring it up even a little higher if you like, just so you're not bent right over trying to get to where that light is. So I'm gonna bring it up quite a bit. I think that's close enough. That way it gives me lots of space. All right, we're gonna take these wheel nuts off. Oh, there goes one. Get this all off here. All right, get this tire off and set it off to the side. So I'll put it underneath. There, out of the way. All right, now we got lots of room where we can get into where our light is. So as you can see here on my quad, the way they put put the winch in here, it kind of looks like a homemade setup or whatever, how they made the winch mount. But it is kind of a tight squeeze back in here because with the winch in the way. So we got to get in there. I'll get a light in there, and it's only 2 screws in there to pop this cover off. So we're going to get that off there so we can get to where that bulb goes. Okay, now it takes a Phillips screwdriver. So we're going to go up here. There's one on top here on the top left corner. So we'll loosen that off. I'm not going to take it just out yet. And then on the bottom right corner, there's another one. So we'll take that out of there. Like I said, there's not much room in here to work with the winch in the way. with one screw out. Get this one out of here. And what it does, that's this screw here holds these wires in. There's a little clip in here, so you don't want to lose that. So take that out of there. And so, there, and this cap will just come right off there. There we go. Now, we can get to where the headlight goes. Now there's just a little rubber over top of this. See, and then this is where the socket for your headlight. So it's not really a hard setup to do. A little bit of rust corrosion in there. So I'm going to take a steel brush in here and just kind of clean this up a little tiny bit. I got a small steel brush just to clean that little bit of rust out of here. As you can see, I'm just going to try and show you with the camera, just so you guys can, as you can see here, hard to tell, but right down the bottom here, there's a little bit of rust. So I don't like rust. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to take a little steel brush and I'm just going to clean that right up. Okay, I got that all cleaned up. Now it's just a matter of getting our bulb and putting our bulb in. So if possible, you don't want to touch your bulb because you get dirt and grime, grease, whatever on your fingers. And it'll could affect the bulb, whatever it doesn't. So your life, of the bulb, whatever, won't last as long. So rule of thumb, try not to touch the bulb if you can possibly can. So we're going to insert that in there. It should just turn in here. My fingers are too big. Oh, let's come out of there. Does that fit in there? I think it turned in there. No, it did not. Okay, we got that bulb in there. I got this back inside. And then these little grooves in here and stuff, so it just goes on and you just turn this so it locks into place. Right, so we're just gonna slip this little rubber cover back over top best we can. It takes a little work, but just try and push that on there. Come on, baby. There we go. Just get that on there so we don't want moisture in there. It's gonna be angry with me today. There we go. There. Make sure you got this rubber piece on proper. Like I said, you don't want moisture on there because it'll break that bulb. Okay, I think I got that on there. Now it's just a matter of getting the cover back on and get it all back into place again. All right, let's see here. All right, we're gonna get this wire up in here. What you want to do to get this cover on, you want to make sure this here is at the bottom for here, for adjusting your headlight. So we're going to get that in there. There's a will, there's a way. Okay, this little piece here. Now where your wiring goes to that light bulb, your headlight, you got to get that. It's hard to see inside here, like I said, with that darn winch. There we go. So that one wire that goes to the light goes in that little open space I just showed you. Okay, now we'll get the first screw, and I'm going to do the bottom screw first, just to make life easy. Let's see here. All right, we'll get that one in, get it started anyway. Let's get that one started. There we go. I'm leaving it loose just so I got room to play with here because I want to get this wire back up here where it belongs. This is the tricky part here. Trying to work with the camera in the way too doesn't help me much. But that's okay. I'll manage just fine. Come on. Okay, I got that started. Actually, that clip's not that bad there either. Actually, I'm going to leave that clip down like so. just to hold this wiring in place. What I might do, I've got a zip tie here. I push the zip tie up a little bit. I don't want my wires hanging because they catch on trees and everything, but I don't want it in the way to get to my winch. If I have to free spool the winch, I think right about there should be fine. We'll just screw that in. Nice and tight. Like so. Go to our back one here and to the other side. Finish tightening it up in there. There we go. There, nice and snug. Perfect. So now before we want to put our wheel back on and set the jack down and everything, we want to make sure the light works. We want to test everything that works. So we're going to go over here and we're going to switch our lights on. Oh, there we go. Okay, that should be my low beam. Check out my, I got one out, see? Good thing I didn't put that back together. Low beam, so I got a high beam out for some reason. All right, I gotta go back in there and find out what's wrong. All right, I found out the bulb wasn't in proper. So you always gotta make sure there's a little clip on there. You gotta make sure that your bulb's in a perfect spot or where it's supposed to be, or you'll have little problems like that. That's why I always say, don't put the thing all back together again, put your tire and everything back on. Just little things like that, that's what happens. So anyways, we're gonna test our lights out and see if they work. All right, there we go, we got low beam. Let's try our high beam. Look at that, and we got high beam. Back in action again. All right. Now I'm happy with that. Okay, now it's just a matter is just get the tire back on and get it torqued back up and set the jack down. All right, let's get our tire back on here. Not with a big truck tire like I'm used to. Come on. Just get everything lined up. There we go. All right. Get our wheel nuts back on. I always put it at the bottom first. See how the tire wants to come off. So I always put one in first like that, just to hold the tire and rim on. There, now I don't have to worry about it falling off while I'm trying to work with it. There, we'll get that one started. We'll get this started. Now when I torque my lug nuts back on, you kind of want to straddle it. You want to do this one first, then work your way over here, then say go to here or here. Usually I start at the very bottom one. So we're going to set one up. And I want to go to this other one. Like that. There. Perfect. Now let's let the thing down and torque my wheels, and my quad's ready to go again. So it's just something to do when you get this cold weather and you can't go on your adventure and take your ATV out because it's so cold your fingers will freeze to it. But anyway, we've got the light working, so I'm happy of that for sure. So like I said, in these cold temperatures and stuff, you always want to, take the time, do a little maintenance on your ATVs, and then when you do take them out, well, then you're not going to have any problems out there, and especially when you're way out in the middle of nowhere. I'd rather have everything in tip-top shape when I'm out in the bush like that. So that didn't take very long at all. Just little maintenance, little things to do when she's cold. So now I think my deeds are kind of done for this afternoon. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to have myself a cold brew, and I'm going to take life easy. Oh, and another thing is, if you like this video, well, you got to check out these videos. I'll guarantee that you'll like those videos, or even hit that subscribe button and you'll be notified every time I come out with a new video. So we'll see you on the next Measures Adventures. Have fun, everybody, and stay warm.